Smash the like button, subscribe. We've got Mr. Craig from Madrid in the building. Shout it, gal.
Deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Man. Come on. As the big man Ian Wright said there, people, deluded, I'm back again. It's Friday. For the Christians out there, it is Good Friday, and it's been a good Friday as we're in good spirits, man. Gal, we're going to address the elephant in the room. You know who we beat, but we saying, my guy, you good?
It's Friday, it's Q&A day. I remember you saying those. You don't do that no more?
Oh, yeah, that's a throwback. To be fair, you know what? Let me write that down. Let me actually write that down. I need to get back to that. Fucking hell, Gal, man.
Come on, bro. I told you. I've been here since 100 subs.
I know you have, you know. I appreciate that. Get back to Q&A shows. I'm forgetting myself. Hey, girl, big up yourself, man. That's actually big up yourself, man. That's a good shout, my guy. Appreciate the support, man. And
commenting some comments back then. But yeah, let's get onto it. You're right. You started off, bro.
No, I can't lie. Listen, you have to give me your flowers. We can't get excited because we ain't won it, but this is what I want to see from Arsenal. You said pray for Madrid. You got clipped up for the combined 11s and all of that, and it is what it is. You won. This has been great. We want to see Arsenal win. I wanted Atletico Madrid. We got Real Madrid. I wanted Aston Villa. We got PSG. So when it comes to the Champions League, I'm listening to you lot, mate. You lot, make sure this comes home, man. What's your thoughts on the two legs in the game at the Bernabeu and anything else, man? Take it away. Let me shut up.
Bro, we play football on the pitch. We don't play it in the trophy cabinet. People need to.
We don't play on social media.
Bro, we don't play on social media, all the remontada, all the bullshit. They were doing psychological warfare, bro. I felt like a nation under siege, the way that they kept tweeting every day.
90 minutes is a long time.
Bro, remontada this, remontada that. Real Madrid this, Mbappe this, Jude Bellingham this, Vinicius this. It was annoying.
This was them on Instagram. We didn't do the talking. See you on Wednesday.
They turned into Instagram models. They turned into Instagram models. That's what he was doing. Man was modeling up shoes the night before the Champions League game. The fuck is he doing?
That 90 minutes thing and whatnot. And it was nice to see us hit back. In fact, that's actually, before we get into I get your thoughts on the game and individuals and all of that, yeah. I want to kind of focus a bit on Real Madrid, and I want to know what your thoughts are. Do you, obviously, Real Madrid, the aura, all of that kind of stuff, it is something relevant. They've won it 15 times, not against us, but they have come back from the dead like the Undertaker. You see, when you see like comments like this, like you said, they were doing the Instagram thing, they were doing the Real Madrid actual account was doing a lot. The Spanish media was doing a lot. You saw them try to do the atmosphere thing, close the roof, get the young players, welcoming them in and all of that. Do you think that was tried to scare Arsenal? Do you think that was like kind of, you know, when somebody's insecure and they're like projecting? Do you like, what do you think that was all about? Because it was a bit OTT, I must admit. Very OTT. Well,
Real Madrid have lost their sauce.
Lost their what?
Lost their sauce. They Real Madrid of old, they would do their talking on the pitch. Although they would do tifos, they would get the fans excited. How many times did you hear their players posting about it, speaking about it, going crazy about it, doing remontada this, remontada that, posts on Instagram? Bro, their family were nervous. You have my man's dad going to the stadium at
3 in the morning. Yeah,
I swear to you, Mikel Merino and Vieira had these guys so rattled that they lost to a team. I think they don't do that if they lose to Barcelona. They don't act this way if they lose to Inter.
It's because we're new kids on the block. They can't accept it.
Lose to somebody else. It's because it's Arsenal, and we're known historically as this team that has not gotten over the line in Europe.
And we're new to
you know something? Shout out Chucky, because he said they were talking about Harry Potter, and he's saying when he duppied them, we duppied them. That's a UK term, right? We did that.
Yeah. We duppied them out of Jamaica, but yeah, UK.
We took them out of the competition. And in the manner that we took them out of the competition, they never gave us a threat. Now, I'm not going to get into the game. Let me get back to the main thing. People need to get out of their heads just because you've won all these trophies and you're this team with all these legendary players, that you're constantly going to beat teams. History doesn't beat teams.
Their fans
Trophies
come in
that
very spoiled, they go as well.
Trophies that you've won in the past doesn't beat teams. Because Man City won the league 4 years in a row, people expected them to walk the league this season. They're struggling to get top 5. Things change. I looked at this Real Madrid team. Defensively, we're better than them. Midfield-wise, we were better than them. Even though people rate their players highly, Rudiger
As a
is never
cohesive
better.
unit, team unit, we're better than them. We was
Exactly.
better than them.
And even individuals, they have better individuals. But when you face Arsenal, Rudiger did not look like a better centre back than Saliba over the 2 legs, or Gabriel, or Kivior.
Even with Saliba's mistake and Saka's penalty miss, we even tried to give them some
He
glimmer.
gave us a goal. The Saka goal was because he didn't track Saka.
Yeah.
Honestly, Carlo Ancelotti's tactics were all over the place. He had Rudiger 1v1 man marking Saka in that second half.
They ran even less than the first leg, and they spoke a lot about running in the first 15, 20 minutes. And I don't know why, but they tried to scare us about Dani Ceballos.
Go pull up my tweet. I tweeted yesterday. You can find it in a second if you look at it.
What tweet?
Kilometers.
I'm going to find it while you're talking.
8.5 kilometers less they ran. We outworked them from minute 1 to the end. If you go to, I tweeted it yesterday. I tweet a lot, bro.
I mean, on a day like this, I don't blame you. I'm trying to find it, bro. You're doing the most on Twitter.
It's I found it. I can send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me. Send it to me. Oh, I found another tweet from you. We'll touch on that at the end.
Bro, you call me out on my tweets. Let's go to the Combined 11. The Combined 11. Everyone who's making fun of me, go and look at yourselves, because Vinny was not better than Bukayo Saka.
When you got Timber out there, boy.
Rodrigo was not better than Bukayo Saka.
When you got Lewis Kelly out there, boy.
Rice was the best midfielder on the pitch. 39-year-old Luka Modric.
If it wasn't Rice, it was Defo Party. And even Odegaard, who didn't do much, was better than them, man.
They were talking about Saka and what do you call it, Rodrigo. Martinelli outdone him over the 2 legs.
They talk about Saka like he's a scrub. And one thing I would say, sorry to cut you again, I don't want to hear any praise from rivals about my team, about the result, about Bukayo Saka. I don't want any validation. I don't even care for your flowers. I always say this to you, Agal, and I always say this in general. I wish we lived in a day and age where everybody and every team was judged fairly. If you play good, flowers. If you play dead, it is what it is. But these things we've been telling you a lot about. West Ham, the only fan base that can tell us about Declan Rice. We've been telling you the man's great. You have to shut up and accept it that he's a
Chelsea
complete
fans
midfielder.
are the worst and the most.
I don't want to hear anything about Saka being world class from rivals. I'll be real, because we've been saying this from the jump. But he's not aesthetically pleasing. He needs to do it at the highest level, like he hasn't done it for England in the Euros and a World Cup against France. Some of them players,
not like you, DG.
etc.
You're the one usually telling me to focus on the team and the game. Forget about the rivals.
I am no. I am definitely doing that, Agal. But one thing that annoys me, just because I say that, it's not that I can't see it. I just know that why would I keep debating with rival fans if I know you know the truth? Of course, there's rival fans. I always say, and you're like me in the sense of we're fans of the game first, Arsenal second. I'm not talking about those individuals, but people that just have Arsenal caps on, Chelsea caps on, they piss me off. I hate hearing it. And they just moved the goalpost with Saka, where you got someone like Foden who's called world class for a lot less. Foden could not do what Saka has done in an Arsenal shirt. And as I said, a man's done it last season against Bayern. He's done it this year against Bayern. Against Real Madrid. He's done it against Paris Saint-Germain. He's done it for England. He's done it when he was a fucking 18-year-old left back, number 77. I hate when now people say now he's world class. We tried to tell you this. They always want to say Arsenal fans are clueless in that. It don't make sense.
They're still not saying it. They're still being wrong and strong.
And that's an idiot thing.
Bro, big up that guy on Filthy Fella Scorcher. He had the worst take of his life.
Shout out Scorcher, yeah. He was talking
the worst take of his life. Declan Rice. Why are we acting like he's not a 40 million pound player?
Bro, he was talking with aggressiveness.
And you know the worst thing about it is the first part. Carlo Ancelotti, Arteta, forget it. Arteta outclassed Carlo.
Shout out Carlo, but you got done, man.
Carlo is not a coach anymore. He's a man manager. That's what he is. He's not a coach anymore.
I don't even think the players listen
to him. He doesn't go on the training ground and find a way to implement Mbappe into the team. What he does is he's like, yo, you guys are all world-class players. Go and play. Go and that's what.
No, Gal, you're wrong. He does that. I didn't see that.
He's an eyebrow merchant.
eyebrow hype, closing the roof hype, Burnabout hype, 90 minutes hype, run more hype, with Real Madrid hype, Hala Madrid hype. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it from you
Bro,
lot.
you know how crazy it is? Bro, in the lead up to the game, I swear to you, this is the most outrageous thing I ever heard in my life. A Real Madrid legend passed away. You know what they said? He's a human
RIP.
sacrifice.
Fucking hell. People are weird, man. People are weird, man.
Wallahi,
People are weird. That's weird.
If I'm lying, I'm flying.
I don't
Club
disbelieve
legend
you
passed
because football
away.
fans are weird.
Bro, a club legend passed away, and these guys are like, "Yep, we're winning. It's a sacrifice."
That's weird. That is flipping weird.
What the fuck is going on?
I even saw on that, I saw some people tweeting like the Spanish media were saying God is a Real Madrid fan and all of this kind of stuff. And it gets a bit weird when it crosses into that. I'm like, it's just a game of football. I know football means a lot to us, but you're doing a lot. On the topic of this year, like the antics, yeah, what did you make of the Carvajal thing? Because to me, I don't know why he's doing this. Some people say the chip thing is a disrespect. Like, what did you make of that? Because I think if the shoe was on the other foot, a lot more noise is being raised about this, about Bellingham's antics, about Rudiger stepping on balls and actually the header, what he did on Merino. But I don't want to be that guy. But what do you make of that?
Bro, it's the art of war to try to get your opponent off their game. They tried to do it on the pitch. They tried to do it off the pitch. They tried to do it. They tried to do it with the crowd. They tried to do it pre-game with their psychological warfare with, oh, we're going to come back. We're going to come back. None of it worked. This was a final attempt to try to get into a player's head. When the man said, don't fucking touch me, that was him saying, yo, I know what you're trying to do. When Declan Rice kept getting his leg grabbed by Jude Bellingham, he's like, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get me drawn out to get a second yellow. So I'm out in the next tie. Partey is the only guy who fell for it. Timber didn't fall for it. Miles Lewis-Kelly got stomped on and he just laughed it off. Like, this is what they did. Their whole game plan after they were losing.
Try to make us nervous.
They're like, let's try to get them off their game by doing stuff, playing dirty. But they don't have the street smarts. Bro, I said this about Man City. Man City have lost a lot of their older guard, their street smarts, the people in the team that were winning before Pep came. You know what I mean? Right. Now they only have the team, the shell of the team that won under Pep, and a bunch of new players who haven't won shit, who've just come in through the door or have never been the main men. And this is what's now coming on with here. Kroos is gone. Luka Modric is no longer a main man, and they don't have the same.
As you said, it's just world-class players and vibes.
They don't have the same midfield creativity. They don't have the same control over the midfield. We went up against Real Madrid over 2 legs, a team full of world-class players. And I swear to you, my players look like the world-class players. Bukayo Saka was the best attacker on the pitch. Declan Rice was the best midfielder in the game. The only position in which you could say they had a better player than us was Courtois. Because I thought
Courtois he stood up tall over the 2 legs still.
Courtois over the 2 legs showed why he's one of the best in the world. But Rudiger didn't show it. Their midfield, no, none of them showed it. I don't even call Luka Modric by his name no more. I call him the 39-year-old because that's what he looked like.
Respect Modric, man. Big up Modric,
no,
but that's funny.
I think that's more respectful than making fun of him by his name because his age is showing. And then Mbappe is a disgrace.
He changed his boots. He tried to play us in Air Maxes. Then he put on the serious boots.
That dive.
Go on.
That dive, trying to put your arm under somebody and jump, like, bro, what is he doing? The refereeing performance, oh my God, the best refereeing performance I've seen by any referee.
Yeah, he kept his nerve, I'll be real. He kept his nerve,
and
man.
The VAR, people in VAR, the Premier League would never.
I thought he was going to bottle the VAR. I'll be honest with you, guy. I thought, not that it's wrong, I thought he was going to go, oh my God, this Real Madrid, I'm scared, yada, yada, yada. I thought he was going to bottle that. I think he was under pressure. That's the one thing I'd say with the ref. In real time, obviously, just because it's a soft penalty doesn't mean it's not. I generally, the way I've grown up with football, I don't believe our penalty is a penalty. But with what the modern day, it is one. I think he was under pressure to kind of give them kind of one. But after that, as I said, I think he kept his bottle. Like, I think there's previous years where I've definitely seen them decisions go against not just my club, but anyone that plays Real Madrid. So big up the ref for that, man. He played a lot better than the Real Madrid players. Absolutely I wouldn't say it's disgraceful because the game's the game, but it is disgraceful for a club like Madrid that claims about class. it was dead. And as you've been alluding to, shout out to everybody who didn't bite the bullet, really. Shout out to my players for in the 2 legs keeping their temperament. Obviously, big up the manager for winning the tactical battle and what he did out there. And the players, man, like the second leg, I'm not trying to be not even sour because we're winning, but I did expect Real Madrid first 15, 20 to kind of come out. They didn't really do that. We weathered the storm. We kept our shape. We won. There's a lot of things that are being forgotten. We won again.
I got something for you.
Go ahead, man.
Check this out. This is Henri talking about the game. I'm not going to play it. I'm
Why
just going to show you
I need to go on.
Look at that defensive.
Look at the deep and mid blocks. They said my manager's a negative manager.
Look at that. So you got the back four doesn't move. The people who are supposed to go and attack the wide areas are Martinelli and Bukayo Saka. They're the only ones and the team shifts as a unit. This is what we are talking about when we say, yo, if you think Arsenal are these teams that you're going to break down and score 4 or 5, you don't know nothing about football. The way people were speaking, bro, before the game, the 15 Champions Leagues, the former Remontadas had more analyzation about that than the actual football. Looking at how we played,
Facts.
Real Madrid were clueless. There's nobody in the half space. There's nobody in the fucking half space. The 2 center backs are the closest to the people in the half spaces.
2 games they haven't followed runners as well, you know.
And like look at how many men are outside.
Not following.
Bro, look at how many men were outside. They had no game plan on how to break down this system.
And this is why I say, Gal, the only problems Mikel Arteta has with what he's doing, the major one, is just going up a couple gears in an attacking sense. Obviously, a striker would help, and breaking down low blocks. People call us negative. There's no way we have this top 6 record, and we ain't been that good defensively. But in the last 3 years, we've had a great defensive.
We've been elite.
No. Let me finish. Let me cook. Chill. I'm not Real Madrid, bro. Chill. I don't think we've been to our high standards this season versus last year. But in the last 2 years, chill, man. Compared to ourselves, I think we was better defensively last year. Chill. I think we're a great defensive side. We're known as that. The clean sheets, the tactical analysis you brought up, all the stuff, that stuff's great. There's a little minor things we can improve, but there has to be a correlation between our improvements that year. Well, in the last 2 years of after, what was it, 2022, 23, where we weren't that good defensively. The progress we made in those 2 years, the top 6 record, the fact that even going back to Inter, we conceded one great, but it was a penalty. People can mock us about defensive aspects, but that has to be a correlation between that and putting in a performance like we did against Madrid. This is why I say to you all the time, yeah, our only enemies, we are our own best friends, but we're also our own worst enemies. We are the only people that can stop us. We could have nights like this on a more consistent basis. And we've announced ourselves to Europe. I'm not here to say Arsenal are the biggest and baddest, but everybody's known we're a good team. Fans can say what they want. Carlo's been very respectful about us. Pep's been every decent manager has given plaudits to Mikel Arteta. And when you see the 2 legs against Madrid, you have to give us our flowers. You can ask questions about the club, about the manager, but what you can't dare do is fucking tell me my football club is not a very good club and we haven't got the ingredients to kick on and do something amazing. We really do. We're quality. And big up the gaffer as well, because it's going to go over people's heads. You know, such is life. You know, we're talking about players and that. Mikel Arteta, the coaching staff. Big them up, man. Can't give them nothing but flowers, man. Nothing but flowers. And it's a movie. I thought the Emirates game was a movie. We got Henri reminiscent stuff. We got Martinelli doing what he's doing. It's an absolute movie, my boy. It's a movie. We've reached the semi-final for the first time since 08-09 and only for the 3rd time in our club's history. And we need to start winning the Prem.
We're looking for the edits, the Instagram edits. You know it.
100%. Like we are the only team, yeah, the biggest team in European football that hasn't won this trophy. Like, we need to get this over the line. Go on, man. How do you think it's happening?
Okay, first thing, DG,
go ahead.
I'm not here for violence. I disagree with you on the defensive record. We're better this year in Europe defensively than we
in
were.
Europe. I'm speaking in general.
We're better this year in the Premier League defensively. We've never conceded 3 goals. Last season we conceded
compared to last year.
Last season we conceded 3 goals to Luton.
I hear that, but you really think we're better defensively this year? Like, bro, just from our eyes. Yes, I disagree with that,
bro. I'm telling you, the eye test is not matching up with what's actually happening on the pitch.
Aston Villa 2 goals up.
Guess what? We're still better defensively.
I don't think we are. I disagree with that.
As a totality of the season, we have been a much better team defensively
in Europe. That's cool.
Totality of the season. Now, if you want to say there's games where we're up and we concede goals or we
Yeah,
let
we
people come
conceded
back
too
in,
much shit
that's
goals, man.
football, bro. That's football. Sometimes you're not going to always have every game where you close out shop. But right now,
I hear. No, I'm not disagreeing. I just don't. I think we were just better defensively. I saw it in our eyes. I think this year we've conceded too many sloppy goals. I hear you with the statistic thing, but I just feel we've had too many brain farts this season. I feel there was just. I just feel there was something different in the air defensively last year, but we're still good. We're still good.
I
Don't
think
fight me. That's
okay,
just
yeah.
what I believe, but my boy.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We disagree. We view things differently in football, as I said. I view things and systems differently to how you view things, and you view progression. You view different. You view defensive. Your eye test is different to me. Then also, because I
And that's the
thought
beautiful thing about football. There's no rights or wrongs.
no, there isn't. But then, you know what? There's people who are wrong and strong. At least I'm willing to learn and admit when I'm
You
wrong.
have completely off topic. I watch all the Arsenal content. Well, not all the Arsenal content, but yourself, the Lees, the Dans, everybody that we kind of know. And you're feasting. I can't lie, you're feasting. You've been feasting this week or so with
Bro,
the
I had
result.
to.
You've been killing me. You've been killing me.
Yesterday I was on Lee because I was telling him, bro, you can give it, but you're not taking it because you got to be able to take it when everyone's now giving you smoke for you saying we have no chance versus Real Madrid. Kenny, my guy, but I had to even tell him, bro. Kenny refused to say big up Arteta on the stream yesterday.
To be fair, I did hear him say, "Oh, I'm not a pork chop, big up Arteta because he did what he's doing." And I did hear Lee kind of allude to that. But yeah, you can't be wrong and strong in this life.
Yeah, there you go. But big up those guys.
It would be nice if, like, when times are going poor, like obviously, and you said it greatly. You said it. You said something along the lines of, obviously, when the team's moving mad and we're losing, like if you flip it and we were Real Madrid, we got battered. The likes of you, people get onto you. When it's obviously the other side, they get onto them. It'd be nice if, when we're dead or not doing what we need to do, if there's togetherness, it'd be nice if, like now, and I get it, you lot have taken a lot of punches, it's time to punch back, but it'd be nice if we were just all fucking happy that our team won. And then you made a good point about, like, you was talking about like the far left and the far right and the centralists who kind of whatever. And then
I mentioned you, yeah.
Yeah, then you made a great point about Hooks, because Hooks is there, here, there, and everywhere, depending on what day of the week, man. But yeah, like, we just need to win. There's no Arteta sexual's a bit mad, but yeah, man.
Listen,
it's nice to win, bro.
I don't care what people call me. One thing they won't call me is a person who doesn't have belief in their team. And when
you're within your rights to do that.
And when you have belief in your team and you know what your team is capable of, and they prove you right, this is the kind of moments where you can say, you know what, I told you guys. And I do feel like I'm not one of those people who always yell and scream, I told you. But in these kind of situations, I have to, because I got so much stick. And it's not only about me, it's about all the Arsenal fans who got told you're deluded to think you even have a chance versus Real Madrid in the second leg, let alone the first leg. Deluded. I've never seen in my life a team 3-0 down in the Champions League, and everyone in the world is basically saying, yep, they're coming back. Yep, they're coming back.
Copium.
As if we are and just Tottenham, the way that we play defensively, and they're gonna score 5.
They need to lose in the semis, man. That's the only thing that's dampened my week, is
seeing
United and them.
I like Faisal, but to say 5-1 in the second leg on your head top is crazy, bro. He was right about the
again, Saka failing penalties. Like, we're not even switched on like that. Like, it's crazy.
See the Chelsea and Man United fans jump on that chance. I seen Man City fans going, never be Cole Palmer. Chelsea fans were saying, never be Foden. Immediately goes to tribalism. Bro, yes, he missed the penalty, but then he ended up chipping the guy in real life.
What they can't deny is Saka's great. And one thing I like is, obviously, Saka's obviously got self-belief here, but Saka knows I'm him now. Like, I'm not here to say he's better or worse than Vinicius and Rodrigo, but all of those kind of players in those positions, it's like Saka knows he's him. I watched the way Saka spoke before the first leg, after the first leg, in this game, after this game, and everything else. Big up yourself, Bakayo, bro.
I gotta say one more thing to you. Deluded. First stream we had together. Since I've been coming on here. I said to you, bro, we're not far away from dominating. And I said, because we have a shell of quality around, and we need to add to that final pieces. And
what is domination, though? Because that's where we're gonna have to disagree. I definitely want you to be right. I want to dominate.
I'll tell you.
But tell me what domination is first.
With the age and profile of the players we currently have to our disposal, and the fact that you yourself and everybody admits that the attack is the final piece to the puzzle that's missing from this team currently, we go and add the attacking players. I think not only do Arsenal go and win the Premier League, we have the capability of now competing in more fronts with more quality across the squad. And don't get me wrong, Liverpool, Man City, everyone else will get better. But I think at this moment in time, Arsenal is in the best position to go from strength to strength next summer with Man
But what
City
is domination though, bro? Like that's the only thing I'm not disagreeing with that. I think you're valid with that, but maybe I'm reading it wrong. Domination for me is, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, but what we used to see with Man United, or what we've seen up until this season, give or take with City, or what we've seen with Real Madrid in the Champions, that's domination for me.
We are like a bus. The first trophy walks in, they all come through. I'm telling you, Arsenal win the Champions League, or Arsenal don't even win the Champions League. Next year, get a striker and win the Premier League. We are about to see a 4 or 5 year stretch where we're going to be winning everything.
4 or 5 years. Wow.
I'm telling you.
I hope you're right, you know. I want you to be right, but 4 or 5 years where we're dominating everything.
By the time Arteta, by the end of next year, will have a whole different way of thinking about him. People will no longer be doubting him. He would have either won a Champions League or Premier League by then easily.
Wait. Let's get a date on this. A date.
By next May, not only will Arteta have won a major, the opinion of Arteta will be he's the best manager out of this new crop of managers, because people think Xavi is better than him. He will be respected as much as Inzaghi is by the end of next season.
So there's a Prem or a champs by 2026, May 2026.
Or a champs, and he will have Arsenal amongst the best in the world.
I think we've already done that.
He already has the best in Europe, but what we're missing is the silverware. I'm telling you.
And what have I said to you with me and Mikel Arteta? Is that not been my thing? My thing. Brother, just win me a trophy. I see what you're doing.
If he wins the Champions League with Mikel Moreno at striker, bro,
agendas will be a lot.
I've got agendas Mikel Moreno at striker. We never in our life ever need to hear somebody say, "Oh, what if that signing flops?" Because they don't say that about Pep. If Arsenal sign Kivior and he comes into this team and he's playing the way that he's playing right now, we signed Mikel Moreno. He's playing the way that he's playing right now. You honestly tell me that Gyökeres is going to sign for Arsenal and flop? All the agendas from rivals going in the bin. I watch Expressions and KG losing their minds at the fact that Declan Rice scored the free kick that he scored, losing their minds at the capability of our defending, losing their minds at the fact that Real Madrid over 2 legs barely gave us any real threat. I can name 4 chances they had the whole 2 legs.
I couldn't. I could tell you chances they had at the Emirates. Can't really tell you chances at the Bernabeu. Really, Saliba fucked up. There's little things that, literally little minuscule things that I'm sure Mikel Arteta will teach these boys across the 2 legs. But it's been a movie. We've had some nervy moments literally a couple of nervy passes, better yet, at the Emirates. We've had some, Saliba's made a mistake, Saka's missed a penalty, and we still won. This team improves year in, year out. But again, for me, over the line. I'm not here to say Arsenal are the biggest and baddest. You can't tell me we're not one of the best sides in the Premier and in Europe. We are. We're into the semi-finals. I'm not happy about being second, but we are second. You cannot say this isn't a good manager. Obviously, no one's perfect. There's a lot of question marks, but you can't sit here and say we're not. Like, you can't. Our thing is just now kind of what you've been alluding to. Silverware, man. Just get over the line, because how harsh would it be to put in those 2 performances at the Bernabeu? And I go back to the 5-1 game against City purely because at Liverpool are about to win the Prem. But right now, City are the reigning Premier League holders, right? Real Madrid the same with the champs. There's a reality where these memorable moments mean F-all. And I think that's the harshest thing. You look at Lewis Skelly, you look at Saka, you look at what could be a farewell tour for Tierney. We look at people like myself and you that are on YouTube. I see a lot of people that have been supporting my content over the years, and you that have been here and said they've grown up with me. We need that. I am one of the most balanced fans on YouTube, I feel. Even me, I'll be unbearable. I am becoming a monster. I see the darkness. I want to enter it. I love being hated. You know yourself. You know we're playing Real Madrid next year in the champs, right? You know that, innit? You know we're facing them again. I think football's fixed.
I don't want to play Real Madrid again. because they're psychologically they get into a battle with you psychologically. The way that their media team, if Zubimendi is linked to Real Madrid, they can have him. I don't want to go into a challenge with Real Madrid.
Chill. We need him.
No, because my whole thing is, I don't want this whole media circus with Real Madrid. My mentality is going to be whatever they say is bullshit. And if they're going to keep putting out articles saying Zubimendi is going to be a Real Madrid player, Arsenal is going to lose 4-0 on aggregate, let them believe what they want to believe. I'm just going to wait and see what happens at the end of the day. I'm not gonna let that bother me as much as it used to. As for what you said about job's not finished, Kobe Bryant said it himself, bro. Job's not finished. I get it.
Man said Kobe, RP.
RP Kobe, man. He said it. Job's not finished. I get it. We still got a semifinal. We still got a final. And if anything, if we win it from there, Arteta puts his name in the rafters.
Build him a statue. You win the Champions League for me, Mikel Arteta. Build you a statue. These players go down in folklore. We are too big of a football club not to win it. And I must say,
certain mans are not allowed to celebrate the first couple hours until they do their apologies. Wallahi, GG. I'm pressing everybody. If they go out here and start going, oh my God, we won it all, and then they start crying, but then they don't actually big up the manager before they start crying and celebrating. You're not allowed to celebrate until you give flowers.
You say the 2-hour ban,
bro. You can come to the parade, you can celebrate as a fan, you can be very happy, but until you put your banter aside, agenda aside, and say, you know what, I got it wrong. This is what I've wanted. This is what I've been waiting for. I'm happy that I got it wrong, and you know what, sing Super Mikel Arteta. Then we're gonna be happy.
This guy's mad.
I'm gonna if we win the Champions League, bro, I need Northside, Ligana, Curtis, Dan, everybody.
Oh, that's harsh on. That's harsh, man. Pick them up.
I need everyone to sing Super Mikel Arteta and give the man flowers. And I think they would. Don't get me wrong. I definitely think they would.
That's what all them man and us two want. Like, we just want to win, bro. Like, it's all said and done. But like, bro, I know there's too much civil war going on. But bro,
I need Yardman to take all his hats and burn them in the backyard.
Yardman, man.
You know what I mean?
If it happens, we all need to have a show together. Everyone, me, you, Curtis, Turkish, Northside, Lee, everybody.
Bro, and all the people who had Arteta as terrorists.
I mean, talking for me with that terrorist thing, you know me, I don't like them terms in football. Like,
you guys, all these people who've been saying all these things need to calm down, because we have a great manager. He's shown that he's a great manager. He's shown that tactically he can do what he needs to do. He's shown that how to build a team proper manager. I think he's been utilizing his strengths.
Nah, I think he's a defensive manager, and I don't think that's wrong.
I think
he's like Luis Enrique. In fact, no, defensive manager isn't the right thing. I think he's like Luis Enrique in that these men want players they micromanaging it. You need to stand here, you need to stand there. I need you to do this, I need you to do that. And we'll get on to PSG, but that's an interesting one. Before you carry on, Nigal, I don't want to do AXA. Forgive me for mispronunciation. I don't want to do them a disservice. Their question's been up here a minute. Question for Igal. Merino is doing better than Havertz. Sell Havertz. What do you say to that? What do you think of that? What does that mean?
Merino is doing something different than Havertz. Marino is being asked
political answers.
Marino is being asked to be a false nine who drifts so deep sometimes, where he's defending as a 8.
But we saw Kai doing that.
Kai Havertz, when he was doing that, he's drifting more out wide and defending on the wide channels, where my man, he's actually in the middle. You're seeing him stopping defenses from being in the middle, where Kai was almost on the wide channel, and he's almost like somebody who's going to help you springboard a counter. I don't think they're playing the same exact way. Yes, he's bagging in goals. He's played really well, but at the same time, I don't think it's a disservice to Kai Havertz. It's more credit. It's more credit to Mikel Moreno's and how he's been performing. And if Arteta can do this with Moreno, all you people who are saying don't give him money in the summer, now you're probably going to feel stupid looking at how he's doing it with Mikel Moreno. Imagine if he got money in the summer for a striker.
What do you mean he never got money in the summer for a striker though?
I don't think they had the money that we wanted to go get Gyökeres in the summer, because they wanted to get Sesko because he was 45K.
Did you have that? Who told you this?
That was the reports that Sesko, if he was going to join Arsenal, he would join Arsenal for 45K, and instead of re-signing his contract at RB Leipzig.
Let me ask a question then, because I think this is a good one. Like, do you think Mikel Merino is a better striker than Kai Havertz, Ross?
I think Mikel Merino has been doing good in a short-term period, but I think if he had to do this for the entire season, it would be a different conversation. This is still very early in the period where he started doing this. When more teams have a sample size, when more teams see him doing this, people are going to be cussing it. If we have to face Everton again and Mikel Merino's up top again, you guys are going to be seeing people cussing at him. If we're still competing in the league for the Champions League, if we're still competing in the league for the league title, and we're facing a bunch of low blocks with Mikel Merino at striker, best believe people are going to be saying, "Oh my God, this is why we can't win anything, because we have Mikel Merino at striker." But when you're facing Champions League teams, Real Madrid, PSG, PSV, it's a little bit different. You have more space, you have more time, and you can utilize a player's strengths more to their favor. I do think Kai Havertz gets more criticism because he's missed some chances and he's had more howlers.
And let's be honest, he's not as technically gifted as Mikel Merino.
Mikel Merino,
Merino can ball, man. Havertz
he has a striker finish.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're right. Like, because I don't want to get into nationalities, but Merino is a typical Spanish midfielder. He's good with his feet. I think I wouldn't say more intelligent, but I think he's more technically proficient. Like, he's definitely more pleasing on the eye than Kai Havertz. But being devil's advocate, I want to ask you, like, I do think you made a great point in that, Kai Havertz might not be as pretty as Mikel Merino. He might not be flavor of the month, but he has done it for a long time. You saw the second half of last season. I think he's technically one of our top goal scorers, technically being injured. And I wouldn't describe Mikel Merino's as a purple patch, but for want of better terms, a purple patch, right? I would like to see if Merino had the number of games that Havertz has had through the middle, what we would say. But has this raised in question that maybe Havertz is overstated in terms of importance up front? Because Merino's, they're different, but he's doing the same things. Like, he's pulling out, obviously not.
Okay, so let me rephrase it. Let me rephrase it. So do we need to look at Gabriel differently also?
What, Gabriel Magalhaes?
Yeah.
That's dead. Come on, Nigel.
No, because this is the agenda.
Come on, they're both it's different. These men are
small sample size.
Come on,
it's the small sample size.
Come on, Nigel.
No. Hear me out, because I don't like this whole thing where it's like small sample size. All of a sudden, we don't miss Gabriel Magalhaes as much.
I mean, Gooner, innit?
Yeah, I know Gooner.
He said if Kivio has a good game at the Bernabeu, he's selling Gabriel Magalhaes. So that's what he was saying. So that's one person that might be saying that.
Yeah, because this is what we do as fans. We're quick to forget when somebody doesn't feel like they're missed. But when that player is missing and we drop points, we're crying for them. I remember the exact same thing happened with Odegaard earlier in the season. We played well against Man City. We played well a couple games, and then people are like, you know what? We don't miss Odegaard. We're better on the counter without him. And there might be some truth to that. But then when we start losing some games or we drop points in a couple games and we don't have the same level of creativity, they're like, oh, we miss Odegaard. We're not winning the league because we're missing Odegaard. And then Saka, same thing. Oh, we can manage without Saka. Next game, oh, we're fucked without Saka. And then now it's like Kai Havertz. I swear to you, there's people crying when Kai Havertz got injured. And then now Mikel Arteta finds a solution, and all of a sudden it just goes to show you Kai Havertz was overrated the whole time. I think that is a very straw man argument.
I think you got a statement to that. I mean, it'd be interesting to see, because where I look at Merino, obviously, if we sign a striker, Havertz is going to stay in it. His reality is. But if I play devil's advocate, Gyökeres walks in, he's up front. I wonder if Arteta looks at Mikel Merino differently, because the same things that you told Havertz to do, he's doing it. I think the difference between Havertz and Merino is obviously Havertz can play in midfield, but I do think Mikel Merino is more, if anything, to a midfielder I want to see at Arsenal than Kai. Like, I like Kai, but I think your strengths are off the ball. I want you to run in behind. I want you to do what you're doing. And if anything that's close to on the ball, I more want him. He's not defensive, but I want Havertz to muck in, make fouls and tackle. And I think Merino can do everything. And I'd say what I would say with Mikel Merino is, I know you've got onto me as a joke, but like, I was right about Mikel Merino. I said allow him in it. I don't think he's a ceiling raiser. Of course, I couldn't see him play up front. I can understand why there was frustration in the summer about signing this guy because we wanted level raisers. But I did think fans were too harsh on him. Like, and he was written off and he had injuries and he needs to adapt and he's played up front. And that's the nicest thing for me. He's getting a bit of confidence. He's doing his thing. And long may it continue. That's the thing. Whether you're Arteta in, out, shake it all about, whatever you got to say. I'm sure, Igal, if me and you looked at all of these, well, to be fair, we'll probably agree on the majority of these players. But exactly. But we're Arsenal fans, but we just want to win. I want everyone to do right. Anyone that I'm wrong about, I want them to prove me wrong because it means we've got better players. I mean, with this on screen, yeah, I just want to kind of hone in a bit of on individual performances. How good are Lewis Skelly and Timber, man? First of all,
bro, Lewis Skelly and Timber are two of the most complete fullbacks out there right now. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great fullbacks out there right now, but defensively equipped, ability to go inside and help out in the midfield, they can do it. On the ball, tidy, and off the ball, their positional awareness and everything's great
and
too.
we got this. They're on it.
And Lewis Skelly didn't lose his cool. This is a man smiling, laughing, 18 years old. Timber, 1v1 demon, absolutely had every single player who...
They said Lewis Skelly's a thug.
Bro, if this Miles Lewis Skelly that we have now was what do you call it, playing at the beginning of the season, we probably beat Liverpool at the Emirates. We probably win a bunch more games.
He was there still.
No, but he wasn't this ready. Now he's ready.
Oh, I
have a bold statement. Miles Lewis Skelly is winning Young Player of the Premier League next season.
He should be winning it this year, but when Phil Foden still counted as a young player.
This year is too early for him.
No, man, it ain't too early, bro. I know the Champions League game. How is it too early? How? What is too early? He beat up. Look what he did against City. After
they start the voting. They start the voting in a couple weeks.
That vote for the guy, man. He's won it. I don't care who actually wins it. The streets know who
they're gonna give it to. They're gonna give it to Morgan Rogers, probably.
They're gonna give it to Foden, man. Like Foden somehow wins it. Foden will be a young player when he's 35. Wow, he's still. Michael Richards is still saying he's a young player, generational talent.
Nah, you know what it is? Foden suffers from Jesse Lingard complex. They still look at him as.
And my friend said that yesterday. You know.
Yeah, they still look at him as a youngster. Like they compare a similar situation with Rashford. He was 26. They're still saying he's the best young forward. Look at his experience. He's 26, bro. What are we talking about, young? Bukayo Saka's 23 now. We need to stop acting like these guys are youngsters. They're grown men.
Pardon me. Big up American Gunner, man. Lewis Skelly, wavy. Timber, great. What did you feel about Martinelli?
Fullback pairing going into next season, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think he needs to touch the midfield. He can make left back and overtake Ashley Cole if he continues to play at this level forever. Like,
you know, I'm a fan of Lewis Skelly, but that's how bold statement Ashley Cole. You know, for 9 months, as much as a dream
it's been. The Champions League with Arsenal, he already makes himself a legend in the making.
True. Fair enough. And you know, again, I want different options. You know, I want Benjamin White to be playing out of his skin. Timber, Lewis Skelly, Calafiori, Tommy, the same. We need this. We need all of them.
Let's play a quick game. Mention one thing about each player, because for me,
Saka, like word association.
What it could be a word, it could be a sentence, whatever.
Let's do words. Go on. Where do you want to start?
For me, first of all, Declan Rice, 100 million pound bargain. Declan Rice, right?
Mustard. I can do this all in one word. Mustard. That's what I got for Declan Rice. Mustard.
Martin Odegaard, enigma.
Underwhelming right now. Underwhelming.
Timber.
Boss.
I have the utmost faith in him.
Martinelli.
I appreciate him. I think a lot of people don't appreciate him.
Underrated.
I like that.
Miles Lewis Skelly.
Rising star.
I'll just say star. Saka.
When are people going to open their eyes?
I would say amazing, or I would say 2 words, my son. Like, I genuinely think you're my son, like, or my brother or something. Raya.
He's one of the best keepers who's played at Arsenal in the Emirates era. No debate.
I'll say steady. steady. I'm not like big up Ramsdale. You know me, I was a big fan of Ramsdale, but I didn't like the whole. I was on signing Raya. I didn't like the whole because people always say, yeah, Arteta's got to find improvements where there's none, and he's got to make unpopular decisions, which is great when you don't necessarily like a player. Like it would be easy to sign an upgrade on Martinelli, right? Ramsdale was doing his thing at the time. Everyone wants Arteta to do this until it's players that's not making sense. And it's fair to say no one misses
everyone admits they're wrong about Raya. Even
Raya's bet. There's no shame in that. Raya's way better than Ramsdale. Way better than him. Purely because before anything, this
and
certain man say they can't concentrate.
And if Garcia comes in and he's better than Raya,
it is what it is. Safe. The game's the game.
Saliba is the best player at the club.
Class. Oh. Huh?
Best player at the club.
He's one of them. He's one of them. He's one of them still. He's one of them. I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. It probably is, but it's hard for me not to say Declan Rice or Bakayo or even complete bias or Lewis Skelly or Tip. But we got so many nice, likable players now, man. I'd call him classy. And to be fair, I think he made that mistake on purpose, man. Like, he don't want to go Madrid yet, man. You've never seen him drop that. So, yeah, you said best player at the club. I said classy. Merino. That's an interesting one.
Merino. Don't underestimate signings in their first season.
I think I'll use a sentence for him. Needs more self-belief. Because that's one, I'll be honest. I've never liked bullies in my life. That's kind of why I gravitate towards Odegaard, because you don't seem to me as someone that can stick up for yourself. And Merino, for me, he looked a bit too humble. And I look back, I can't remember the game, but when he first signed, yeah, like the press conference was talking to him. I think I was at the game, and they were like, "Oh, please let me." Like he was like, he's speaking perfect English, by the way, and he's like, "Oh, please let me off. Like my English ain't that good." I'm looking at him like, "Bro, believe in yourself. You're speaking perfect English." So I just think, and that's why I like beyond the obvious his run of form. I just think he needs a lot more self-belief. Thomas Partey, though,
general
stay is what I'd say. It needs to be given a new deal. Don't you think it's a risk to let my man leave,
bro?
Playing out of his skin.
At this point, I don't even think it's footballing decision.
I agree, to be fair. Because if it was, you probably would have seen a picture with a pen, Partey, new deal type thing. Yeah. Kivio. I'll say fair play. I'm sorry. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
That's what I would say to you, Kivio. Like, I didn't think he was terrible, but I didn't think he was built for this. You've done your thing, innit? I can't ask anything.
You know what? Pleasant surprise.
Yeah, even that pleasant surprise. The jury's still out. Do you think he's going to have a future here? Do you think he's convinced Arteta that maybe you can utilize me more? Do you think you've put yourself in the shop window?
Worst case scenario is he improves his transfer budget for us.
You're making us some money. Shout out American Gunner in the chat, by the way. Big up yourself, my guy. Saka spoke on his penalty miss. We don't need to go over that. We know he's got mentality. Shout out to Martinelli. Big up Mikel Merino, who's involved across both legs.
Is he the best Spanish striker right now?
You're shameless, but fuck it. I'm going to be shameless today. Yeah. 100%. Polish Maldini. Gabriel's a warrior. No way Merino's character's humble, but he's still effective. I just think he needs to. Oh, that's a good one. Merino competent. Merino stepped up a long time ago. Is Thomas Partey the best DM in the league for you?
No, Rodri still is the best DM, bro.
But when did you see him play, man?
Nah, he won the Ballon d'Or, bro. He's still the best. That's
dead, man. I didn't rate Ballon d'Or. Henry ain't won Ballon d'Or. I saw some Fugazi guys win that. I'm not rating that. I'm not rating back. I'm just at 30. I remember when the Ballon d'Or wasn't rated like that. It's only been since the Messi Ronaldo.
Henry lost the Ballon d'Or because he attacked French football previously.
And that's what I mean. It's a political thing. It's like the BAFTAs and that. Like, it's not on ability and whatnot. It's who's voting and all the political stuff. Big up Arteta for his comments, by the way. We got us focus on PSG now, though, man. Like, the next semi-finals has been scheduled. We play on the 29th of April in the first leg at the Emirates. We play the second leg in the Parc de France. Now, I haven't seen everything Mikel Arteta said, but he has said he would have preferred to have played the game at the second leg to be at the Emirates. What do you make of PSG and our chances, man? And what you've seen from PSG so far in general?
I like PSG. I think this is the best PSG team in years. So this is the best PSG team since Zlatan and friggin' the Zlatan days before they had friggin' what's it called thing. That I like
The
the fact that
Galacticos
they
thing.
have youth. They're such a young team. They're so young. The sky's the limit for them. They have two amazing fullbacks, similar to how we do. They have the best depth when it comes to wingers in the world. They don't have a striker for their life, but they have wingers. And the Cancelo Ramos guy, he fell off a cliff, bro. That just goes to show you don't
Shouldn't
don't
have bought
sign,
him anyways.
don't sign players based off World Cup hype. World Cup hype. Enzo, Cancelo Ramos, you can just
But
make
he was
mistakes.
clinical in the Portuguese league, and we want Gyökeres. Maybe that's a concern. Being devil's advocate.
Hey, Mikel Moreno's our striker. You don't think Gyökeres is better?
I like Gyökeres. I have a duty to be impartial and be devil's advocate. I believe so. If it was up to me, Gyökeres signs tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, I wouldn't relatively make the same thing. I would say Benfica is the club that you got to look at and be like they're a little bit fraudulent. Benfica and Frankfurt, you don't buy their strikers. Don't buy Frankfurt or Benfica strikers. Like 9 times out of 10 players that come out of Frankfurt and Benfica, they're quick flips where the whole team is playing through them and then they look much better than they are. Like I'm not looking at this Ekitike guy and saying, yo, Arsenal should even look at him again. I
What if
see
Arteta
him,
wants him?
bro. I'm looking at this guy and I'm saying he's too weak.
But what if Arteta wants him?
He's too raw. He's too much of a player you need to focus and play through. I don't want that. I want
But what if
somebody
Arteta
who
wants him? That's the you have said if Arteta gets his
I
players.
don't
What if
think
Arteta
Arteta
wants a
has him
striker?
anywhere near the top of his list.
But what if he wants Hugo Ekitike? What if Arteta was sat here and said, "I hear that, Igal, but that's the one I want."
You know what?
Like a Gyökeres deal could be done, a Hugo deal could be done, and Arteta is here with like us two, and he says, "Bro, skis, I want Hugo Ekitike." Where would you be with
I'm
it?
just going based off of what the rumors have been around Arsenal. Ekitike doesn't seem like he's at the
We've been
high.
linked with him again still.
He doesn't seem like he's at the top of our list. Maybe Sesko is higher on our list. Even Sesko, I'm more of a fan
I
of
like him, I can't
Gyökeres.
lie, but I
I'm
want
more of a
Gyökeres.
fan of Gyökeres than Sesko.
I'm with that because the only thing that makes the difference is I don't think Sesko's bad, but I think he's more of a development kind of signing. Gyökeres would shock me
Fabio Vieira.
because it's kind of like win now mode type of thing. Like that's what I kind of want. I would like Gyökeres. He's 26. He's here right now. We see what Saka is doing. If you bring me Nico Williams and Martinelli gets back in form, we're kind of laughing. We all know we need a centre mid, whether our Partey stays or not. So it's like, how do we approach in fact, sorry, before we get into that, like you was talking
I'm
about
going to answer
PSG,
this
like
question.
go on. Before we go
Fabio
back to
Vieira doesn't have a place in this team because our fullbacks do what he's good at.
what do you mean for people that don't know?
Fabio Vieira gets a lot of his joy playing in the wide area and making crosses or passes from those areas. He's not a central midfielder for me. He's more of a wide midfielder who gets in those wide channels. He's kind of like if Fabio Vieira had pace and he could become a fullback, he'd be a better fullback than he would be as a midfielder for Arsenal. So I don't think he'll ever
You sure
really
about
make
that?
it. I don't think he'll ever really make it at Arsenal. I think Arsenal would be probably better off cashing in for whatever money we can get because his attributes and his skill sets, which I look at, is he's a really good crosser from deep distances, like a Trent. And we don't really cross from deep distances using our midfielders.
He can cross and he can shoot. I'll give him that.
How often do you see us cross the ball from like where Anthony Gordon cruised across the ball against us in the game at Newcastle's ground?
You know what the funny thing is? I think Fabio Vieira's future, out of all the guys we could make, are going to be sold or stay or indifferent. I just think it's 50-50 because I agree with you on one hand in that, you know what, we might just cash in. I don't think he's been bad at Porto, but you know yourself, when you go on them kind of loans at that age, you need to be playing out your skin so that all of us, like we're talking about you week in, week out. You're not amazing, you're not terrible. So I think you might even go on loan again. You might be sold, all of those things. But I think you might be one that I don't know if anyone's going to try and buy you permanently. I don't know if we're going to be flushed with offers. I can see a reality where you are just somehow part of the squad. Whether you want to do that or not is another thing. Whether you're going to get game time or not is another thing. But it'd be very interesting to see.
He's done all right. He's done all right. 4 goals.
That's what I mean. But you can't do all right. You need to be playing absolutely out your skin.
He's had
Ranieri's taking your little spot now,
bro. He doesn't have a spot in the team. It was a poor investment, and I don't think they planned for him to be so like frigid and not strong enough to maintain his balance in the league, because he gets thrown off the ball so easily. And I don't think that's an understatement. When he first came in, and you know what happens, bro? There's people who once they come into a place and everything's difficult, they fold. And I think he's one of those guys who folds.
Do you think he was an Arteta signing?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if he was an Arteta signing or if he was a scouts did it, but I do think it would be Arteta would have some say in signing Fabio Vieira, and it's been a flop. It's been a flop.
It just ain't worked out. It is what it is, man. No signings foolproof.
Yeah, we move on. Yeah, he's good. He's a good chance creator. He can shoot, but he doesn't have the confidence to go out there and make a difference when we need him. He can do it on occasions, but we need somebody who has the capability of coming in and making a difference. And I just don't think he is that guy. And if he comes in and he proves us wrong, I think it would be more out of us having no options and just having to keep him than us wanting to keep him.
Would it be the worst thing though to keep him as purely as a body, regardless of what we think about him?
I would rather, even if we get 20 million for him,
because we've seen why we need numbers this year, if there's nothing more.
Yeah. Anyways,
so it'd be interesting. But yeah, let's circle back on the PSG game, man. Like, what are you expecting from Luis Enrique and PSG? Like, should we be more confident with Real Madrid? Will they be a tougher test then against Real Madrid? Like, will it be a more difficult game? Like, is it one in the first leg or the away leg? Tell me everything you got PSG, man.
I think we're too strong and too physical for them. When you look at PSG compared to Arsenal, the players that are mano a mano, our midfield, our defense, our attack, we're just too strong and too physical for them. They have pace. Don't get me wrong, but you can use your pace as much as you want. But if the player you're going against is just easy, it's just able to get to the position a little bit faster than you. It doesn't mean anything if you can get barged off the ball quite easily. True. I do find a lot of their players are frigid, skinny, and we could take them. And I'm just looking at the physical aspect of the game. I don't think they'll be able to take it to us the same way they did Axel Disasi. Timber's not Axel Disasi. Friggin' Mazzucchelli's not Axel Disasi. Their manager's great, but Arteta has different ways of playing. I don't think PSG have different ways of playing. To me,
we're not without Partey as well, which could be a big miss, surely.
Hey, it's going to be a big miss, but luckily it's the home game and not the away game.
Yeah, the part. I think it's decided in the second leg. I must be fair. I do.
Actually, I think it can be decided in the first leg if we do what we did against.
I hope we pack them, score 3, 4, 5 goals, 100%. But I just look at Aston Villa over there, more than Aston Villa, because I think Aston Villa were better at their place than Liverpool. But Liverpool over there,
watch a bunch of PSG's games in the Champions League to see how teams approach them. But I don't think teams approach them the way that they should approach them. PSG are not good defensively. They're not.
That's be us.
From what I've seen against Aston Villa, they can get into a basketball game. If we get into a basketball game with them, stupid. We need to be able to go into the game, be concentrated, and beat them fair and square. But yeah, man, I gotta go take this kid to the park in a bit.
Yeah, go on, man. Let people know they can find you before we cut.
Yo, guys, you can find me on Egal Talks Football. I'm also on Twitter at EGTV Egal. And I'm on TikTok also. But you know what? I need to do more shameless and post on Twitter because I don't post enough videos on Twitter. I've been posting on Twitter this week, and it's been going super viral. I didn't realize people like me posting on Twitter. So
keep doing that, man. And before you cut, are we winning the Champions League then?
Job's not finished, bro. But I do think we have a good chance.
All of that bullish chat.
We have a good chance of beating Barcelona. Inter is going to be difficult. Inter is the problem. Barcelona, I think we could take them. I think
we need
Barcelona
to get past PSG first, though.
I think Barcelona is the best matchup for us, and we can right the wrongs of 2006. And I do think we can do it. I'm confident in this team. I'm confident in this manager. I'm confident in this club. The only thing that can mess it up from here is like a lack of concentration and the other team being better than us on the night.
I can't disagree with that. And on that note, people, happy Friday. Egal, as usual, bless. Have a good day at the park. People, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you're following Egal on his socials. Peace.
You always